Hello, and welcome into this remote edition of Cronkite Sports Now. I'm your host, Sean Rice. We have a full slate of sports news on the docket for this Wednesday afternoon. Let's get right into it. We open with an announcement from the NFL that all facilities will be closing their doors at 6 p.m. local time today due to COVID-19. The NFL says it will reassess the situation on April 8th. The NBA world is pouring out their support for Minnesota Timberwolves forward Karl Anthony Towns after he announced that his mother is in a medically induced coma due to her positive COVID-19 diagnosis. Towns said in a statement, "We can beat this, but this is serious, and we need to take every precaution. Sharing my story in hopes that everyone stays at home. We need more equipment, and we need to help those medical personnel on the front lines. Thank you to the medical staff who are helping my mom. You are all true heroes. Praying for all of us at this difficult time." The ASU men's basketball season came to a screeching halt just a few weeks ago, but junior point guard Remy Martin is still garnering honors. Martin was named to the National Association of Basketball Coaches' first team for District 19. Martin helped propel the Devils to their third consecutive 20-win season. The point guard averaged 19.1 points, 14.1 assists, and 3.1 rebounds this season. The Arizona Cardinals have already had a terrific offseason, including the signing of a Valley native. Cronkite News reporter Ryan Latica has more. Ryan?
Thanks, Sean. News broke earlier this week that Cardinals quarterback Brett Hundley has agreed to a one-year contract extension to remain with Arizona through the 2020 season. Hundley appeared in 3 games for his hometown Cardinals last year while serving as Kyler Murray's backup, and he said that remaining in the red and white for another season was exactly where he wanted to be.
It was something I wanted to do. Just coming back home for another year and being home for another year was nice, especially this past year. And so for me, it was another good opportunity just to sort of stay where I wanted to stay, be where I wanted to be around family and friends, and also stay in the offense that I want to stay in. This offense allows me to do everything that I can do and utilize to my best of my abilities.
The addition of wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins to that offense has the former Chandler High School quarterback even more excited to get the season underway and help his team push for the playoffs next year. Reporting for Cronkite News, I'm Ryan Latica.
Hundley was named Arizona's Gatorade Player of the Year back in 2009 while playing for Chandler High School. Growing up playing sports, everyone has fond memories of their parents packing them snacks and cheering them on during games. And for one Major League player, this is still a reality. Cronkite News reporter Kennedy Jamison has the story.
Many Major League Baseball players had their moms drop them off at games and celebrate the little wins throughout their baseball ventures. But for Royals pitcher Mike Montgomery, the story's a little different. His mother Jeanette was right there with him in the offseason, catching his fastballs with ease.
From a young age, obviously there was always just, you can always get better. That's what she kind of instilled in me was, you might think you go out there and do well, but, that's just what you're expected to do more so as, than anything else. And yes, we'll joke around about, after a game, she'll tell me I didn't throw enough strikes or something. So, but I appreciate that because that's part of what helps drive me to continue to search for that success.
Montgomery's mom was a 2-sport athlete at Cal Poly. She uses her competitiveness and love for sports to help instill in him the discipline and work ethic he needed to make it to the next level. Her tough love sure paid off because in 2008 he was drafted to the Royals, then traded to the Mariners, and then to the Cubs in 2016, where he helped them win the World Series in Game 7. And now he's right back with the Royals, where it all started. I'm Kennedy Jamison, in Surprise, Cronkite News.
With the MLB season being postponed due to COVID-19, Montgomery sure has plenty of time to play catch with his mom. Today is the 4-year anniversary of former ASU baseball player Ryan Hinks' no-hitter against Utah. Cronkite News reporter TJ Mathewson spoke to Hinks about this special moment, and he joins me now. TJ, what was this moment like to Hinks?
Mostly, obviously, the cliche answer, it's greatest moment of my baseball career, which is definitely understandable. But for a guy who mostly, struggled throughout his ASU career, he's, mostly a bullpen guy. He wasn't really a starter. That was his first start of the season, his first Pac-12 start of his career. And, comes out in there and throws a no-hitter. And that's just, a special thing for one of the most historic baseball programs in the country to, go out there and be one of only 10 guys to keep the other team out of the hit column for 9 innings.
It seems like every no-hitter, there's a play here and there that saves the no-hitter. Were there any over the course of this game?
There's a couple of them he mentioned to me. So there's one in the second inning where his second baseman, Andrew Snow, had to field the ball, from the seat of his pants. It kicked off of Hinks' glove on a comebacker to him, redirected Snow. He had to adjust, ends up on the dirt, still makes the throw over to first. This is in the second inning, so when he realized, you're not even counting a no-hitter then. And then the most important one probably in the 8th inning, a ball just get absolutely tagged to center field, and Andrew Shaps, the center fielder at the time, had to make a really nice catch. And Hinks said to me, he's like, if this is a day game, that ball is gone, without a doubt. And it was lucky, the ball wasn't carrying well. It doesn't carry very well at night at Phoenix Muni. So luckily that one stayed down and Shaps was able to catch it.
Hinks was a member of the bullpen for the majority of the 2016 season, but was awarded with this spot start. Why was that?
He was throwing really well. He mentioned, Tracy Smith at that moment said, he's pitching really well that out of the bullpen. That's why he got that opportunity. And, through a combination of injury, I believe he mentioned there's an injury in the rotation too, and they're really just struggling. They were really struggling. They had lost 5 in a row entering that game. So it's maybe a little bit of, hey, rewarding a guy because he's pitching well, and then also just rewarding a guy because they might need, a change of pace, which obviously it worked. Prepare differently. He said, he was honestly just anxious because the starting pitchers get to the park later than everyone else. So he said he was just sitting around his apartment waiting, just didn't know what to do because he had to, had to wait later to get to the ballpark. And then from there, he said he tried to keep a normal routine. He wasn't like the guy who'll close himself off from the rest of his teammates. He'll just, go out there and be himself and then go throw a no-hitter.
TJ, what were some of the important numbers regarding this no-hitter?
So he 9 innings, no hits, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts, 121 pitches off the top of my head.
Awesome story, TJ. Thanks for joining me.
No problem.
That does it for today's remote edition of Cronkite Sports Now. For top Arizona sports stories from across the valley, head on over to the Cronkite Sports tab on arizonasports.com. And as always, for top Arizona news stories, head on over to our website at cronkitenews.azpbs.org. Thank you for joining us on today's edition of Cronkite Sports Now. Have a safe day, everyone.